Happy Valentine's Day.
Heyo.
And welcome to another episode of Marriage on a Tightrope. I'm Katie.
I'm Allan.
And we're still married.
It's Valentine's Day.
It is.
February 14th. We are recording and releasing on the day itself, although you and I actually celebrated a few days ago, didn't we?
Yeah, I think that we usually drop the ball on this kind of stuff. And this is what happens. I just expect Allan to do it, and then Allan sometimes remembers, but mostly does not remember. And then we are stuck with a kind of like a, I don't know, Grin and Barrett type date where...
Chick-fil-A date. This is not making me look very romantic.
Okay, but it doesn't matter. Allan did a great job. I made the reservation.
Well, here's what I do.
Okay.
What I lack in remembering, I make up with in spending a lot of money.
Okay, that totally makes up for it. That's right.
But let's talk about our little date, what we did, because we actually have a little plug to our Facebook group for a little contest that Katie threw out there, and to encourage everybody to share what they love about their spouse and a little picture of you and your spouse here on Valentine's Day. So before we get to the contest, tell them about our culinary experience.
Culinary experience. Well, someone had posted about this restaurant called Table X, and I thought it looked intriguing, and I thought, hey, why not? Let's book this place.
I think when you say the name of the restaurant, you have to say it. Table X. Okay, keep going.
Okay. Anyway, so I booked this place. They had like a Valentine's special going on, and it's 7-course meal, and you're there for 2.5, 3 hours. And we don't get those meals very often, hardly like ever in our marriage. But yeah, so I thought, let's do it. So I booked it, and we went and brought our cute little gifts for each other, which is basically like a card, right? And Allan was so cute. He gave me like a Mickey and Minnie Valentine's card, and then like a foldable...
It's like a Mickey and Minnie foldable
flower arrangement.
Flower arrangement, yeah.
You just know me so well. And I do love flowers, and I always tell him, like, do not buy me flowers on Valentine's Day because they are so expensive. Like, either wait before or do it, like, after and get them from Costco. Like, I'm very practical that way. Like, don't do the spendy flowers. But he got me paper flowers, and that's the gift that keeps giving. Because I can just, I can use them every year now.
Yeah, these are the last flowers I will buy you.
But this does not get you out of getting me flowers sometime.
Sometime.
In the next couple weeks.
Note taken. Note taken. But the last gift, and this is really the point of the story. This is the
point of the story.
It was a good meal, 7-course type thing. The first course was oysters, and I literally gagged trying to swallow the thing.
It's like okay. Oysters. You can do hard things. Everything else was phenomenal, and I actually like the oysters. But anyway,
you're a freak of nature in that regard.
That's right. Okay. I like. It's part of my nature. It's like in my blood to like things from the ocean.
I was born of the village chief.
Well, I wasn't going to say Moana, but,
okay. So the gift that I gave Katie, the last gift, was the intimacy deck. So it's a deck of cards that has 150 different prompts. And you pull one out at random and read it, and then you each answer it. So what are the questions that we can just remember that we... And this literally... was the conversation for the entire dinner. Like, we pulled one, and then we would talk about it for like a half an hour.
Right, and then it would take twists and turns. Like, we would go down a rabbit hole, and then decide, let's come back to it. So it was really fun. Lots of cool questions. One of the questions that is podcast appropriate would be, have you ever been in a toxic relationship? And what was that? What was that like? And Allan and I know that we've had relationships with other people, but I don't think we've gone into any great details. So we talked about that. That was one of them. Allan,
that was one of them, yeah.
What was another one?
Another one was, what are your top 5 regrets?
Ooh.
And that was,
boy.
We had a few of the same ones.
We did.
We did have a few of the same ones.
I would say 2 or 3 of the same ones.
Mm-hmm. There was a sex one. What was the sex one? It was, what is one... What was it? It wasn't like, what is one thing you would want to do that you don't? currently do, or it was something along those lines. It was basically like, what is on your sexual wish list?
There were other questions that we asked each other that we won't divulge here, but it was great. It was really fun. There were some like random ones that just asked about, it really was everything. It was cool.
So we want to give away one of these decks to a wonderful mixed faith couple because we really enjoyed the experience. And we only went through probably 7, maybe not even that many, and there's 150 prompts. So we want to give that gift to all y'all. So in order to be eligible, you need to get onto the Facebook group. So if you're not on Facebook and your spouse is not on Facebook, I'm not a miracle worker. So sorry. You got to be in the Facebook group. Go on and look for Katie's post, which was posted today, February 14th. We'll give it probably a week before we pick a winner. But just go. Oh, no. What are we doing?
Tomorrow.
Oh, by tomorrow. So you got to go on now.
Go on today.
Go on today. So if you're listening past February 14th, you are SOL.
We will, though, give a link to if you just want to buy it for yourself.
Yeah.
For you and your spouse. We'll put a link in there
when we announce the winner. If you're on Facebook or TikTok, you may have seen it because this company advertises these cards on both of those channels. That's how I ended up finding it.
It was really fun. So we want to give one to one of you. Go on and put a picture of you and your significant other. I know some of you aren't married. Some of you are dating or engaged or maybe separated. Who knows? Right. But you're welcome to put that on there and hopefully you'll win the prize.
That's right. Now let's get to the real nitty-gritty of this episode. We went down to St. George just a few weeks ago to attend a vow renewal from a mixed faith couple that we met not only through the podcast, but a few events that we've done down in St. George. They've been there, a few meetups that we've done. We've met them there. And they took our mixed faith marriage course with Natasha Helfer. And it was kind of fun because we weren't just attendees. They asked me to officiate the vow renewal, which I still get choked up thinking about it because it's just such an honor. And they were cool with me using their names. So Carrie and Aaron, thank you very much again. It was quite an honor. And I think what we wanted to do today is, Katie, I wanted you to paint a picture of what the setting was like a little bit. And then I'll actually read what I read for their vow renewal.
Yeah, I mean, this is the perfect day to do it. It's Valentine's Day. We're all thinking about how we can love on each other. You know, there are probably some of you who feel like, I don't really love my partner in the same way that I used to. And so we just want to put this out there because we thought it might be fun to listen to. So Carrie and Aaron had this vow renewal in this great spot in Tokerville. Actually, Allan's ancestors settled Tokerville.
Quite appropriate.
Yeah, so that's kind of fun. But this really cool like barn-like venue, and everything was decorated beautifully. The flowers were incredible, and they wanted to keep it small and intimate. And also, you know, they had family that some could attend, some could not attend due to like extenuating circumstances. So it was really just like the people that they wanted the most there. And one thing that I really loved that Carrie said is, you know, we got married so young and so quickly that we didn't really know each other when we got married. And then, you know, we jumped into marriage and so much has changed since that beginning time that it's like we're in a new marriage. And I think a lot of you can that resonates with you because it resonated with me. Allan and I do feel like we're in a different marriage now. And so this is one of the reasons why they really wanted to do this, to renew their love and commitment to each other. And so they had a beautiful arch, and they had a photographer and it was like a wedding. It was really beautiful. And then they had the boys they have 4 boys. They had their boys walk down the aisle, and Carrie walked down the aisle, and Erin was there, and she just looked beautiful. And Allan was there to officiate. So, Allan, you can talk a little bit about what you said.
And Aaron, I'll give you a plug as well. You looked dapper, my friend.
Yes, all the boys did.
Absolutely. So, yeah, man, I was nervous. So I wrote this over the course of a few hours, and I'll just read it now. About 7 years ago, my wife and I walked through the Narrows at Zion's National Park. It was beautiful. It was adventurous. It was deeply spiritual. But for me, something that was reinforced that day is that water is a powerful force. These waters have literally carved their way through rock over millions of years. These waters found impassable obstacles at every twist and turn. And what did they do when coming upon these impassable obstacles? They found another way to keep going. Carrie, Aaron, that is what you've done in your marriage. You've encountered impassable obstacles. You rushed into marriage after a short engagement, and you've made it through. You have 4 children, all of them boys, and somehow you found a way through, and you love them very, very much. You started the marriage largely with the same view on this life and the life after this life, and stand here today with different views in many ways, and yet the river kept on going. You've both experienced serious health issues that most of us here have not had to face, especially at the age that you have faced them. And the water didn't stop flowing. And that's a beautiful point that has to be celebrated. More than most at your age, you've had to grapple with the reality that our time here on earth is limited. That there is no time to waste on things or people who don't add meaningful value in your life. And faced with that reality, the river didn't split and flow in 2 different directions. You stand here today saying, I still want to spend these precious moments with you. Recently, as a family, we've started going through these little talk cards. These are a deck of cards with questions that are meant to spawn meaningful conversation between loved ones. For the listeners of this podcast, these are not the intimacy cards. This is a different deck meant for conversations
little talks, yes,
between parents and children. This card reads, what emotion do you want to experience today? Carrie, what emotion do you want to experience today? And she answered with joy. Aaron, what experience do you want to feel today? And what did he say, Katie?
He said peace.
He said peace. So joy and peace. Well, the second half of that card says, and what could you do to feel it? This is what you could do. Look at each other like you did so many years ago, but with all these victories over impassable obstacles behind you, and a commitment to the obstacles that follow. And you've given that gift of joy and peace to everyone here. To end, I'd love to quote, not sing, a song that Carrie and Aaron are already familiar with. You won't be the only one. I am unfinished. I've got so much left to learn. I don't know how this river runs, but I'd like the company through every twist and turn. Who said it's true that the growing only happens on your own? They don't know me and you. You don't ever have to leave. If to change is what you need, you can change right next to me. When you're high, I'll take the lows. You can ebb and I can flow. And we'll take it slow and grow as we go. And that was the message that I shared.
We're both getting choked up about it.
I had to stop recording a couple times to compose myself.
It was so good, and it's very poignant, of course, for us because we can relate to where they are and how they're feeling and how their lives have changed through all the twists and turns.
That's right. We all have our twists and turns. There's a reason why that song is at the beginning and end of our episodes.
Allan, would you ever do this again?
Would I do it again?
Would you, officiate a vow renewal again?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, but now that you've put this out there, you can't use the same words.
Oh, shoot. Okay, the next one's going to be like in some kind of ice cream analogy. It's not going to be as good.
It's not. No. Allan and I also sat there and we really contemplated, would we do a vow renewal?
I think we would, but we would probably do it as an excuse to go to Italy or Hawaii or something.
It would be Hawaii. That's like my favorite place on earth is Hawaii.
Yeah, I would totally do a vow renewal with you.
Okay, let's think about that.
Okay,
maybe our 20 year or something.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting
18 this year, so that's a couple years. We got a couple years to plan
and save our money.
So
expensive.
That's right. We thought this was an appropriate message for everyone to listen to for Valentine's Day. So thank you all for listening. We did want to mention as we sign off that 2 weeks from yesterday, so 13 more days until our next session with Natasha Helfer with the mixed faith couples. And today is the last day to sign up appropriately because of Valentine's Day and to get the sex and intimacy course included at no additional cost.
Also, you're going to get at the pre-registration price. Right. So tomorrow, the registration price goes up $50, and you don't get sex and intimacy included. You'll have to pay for that on its own. But we have a few spots left. We had a lot of signups.
3 spots left.
We've got 3 spots left. So if you would like to take advantage and get your sweetheart a gift today and join us in the course, we would love to have you. You can do that through marriageonatightrope.thinkific.com.
And the link is in the show notes of this episode as well.
And if you are wanting to do it, but it's something that you just financially cannot afford, please, please, please email us or text us or message us. And, we would love to work with you. We don't want the cost to be a hindrance for you to be able to get this help that you need.
That's right. And our email is marriageonatightrope@gmail.com. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a very happy Valentine's Day. Go spoil your spouse. We do love you. You are our Valentines, whether you like it or not. That was a bit aggressive to end it, but I don't care.